Célia Gery has made a remarkable mark in cycling history by claiming victory in the inaugural standalone under-23 women's road race at the UCI Road World Championships. This significant event was not just a race. It represented a milestone for women's cycling, showcasing the talent and determination of young female cyclists. Gery, just 19 years old and representing France, dashed ahead in an exhilarating sprint to capture the coveted rainbow jersey. Symbolizing her status as the world champion, in a thrilling finale, Gery outpaced Viktória Chladaňová from Slovakia, emerging victorious in a dramatic sprint after they both left behind Gery's teammate, Marion Bunel, just before the last kilometer. This moment not only secured Gery the top podium spot, but also emphasized France's strength in women's cycling. While Gery celebrated with a gold medal, Chladaňová took home the silver, and Paula Blasi of Spain rounded out the podium with a bronze medal, arriving 12 seconds behind the leaders. Reflecting on the race, Gery recalled, "I was working closely with Viktória. She made 2 attacks, and I stayed with her because I knew I needed to be there if I wanted a chance to win. Other competitors were stronger than me in a flat sprint, so it was crucial to stay in sync with her to leverage our position." As the competition progressed, Gery and Chladaňová surged to the front within the final 3 kilometers, part of a lead group that had formed as they ascended the challenging cobbled climb in Kigali. France had a tactical advantage, with 2 cyclists, Gery and Bunel, in this lead group, allowing them to dictate the pace effectively. Bunel played a vital role by striding to the front and pushing the pace, which set the stage for the final showdown. The dynamics of the race illustrated how teamwork can be crucial. Bunel's efforts enabled Gery to focus on her sprint strategy. As they entered the final stretch, Bunel executed her role perfectly, peeling off just when it mattered, allowing Gery to engage in a 2-woman sprint with Chladaňová. In the closing moments, Gery confidently followed Chladaňová's wheel as they raced toward the finish line, then darted around on the outside to claim her decisive victory. The under-23 women's peloton faced a grueling challenge in this race, tackling a 119.3-kilometer course comprised of 8 laps over a demanding hilly circuit, including a notorious cobbled climb that had already tested their endurance. With 82 competitors in the mix, the initial group quickly began to thin out as the steep gradients took their toll. Many riders from less populous cycling nations soon found themselves distanced from the lead pack. The intensity was palpable early on, with attacks and counterattacks shaping the race dynamics. Notably, Julie Bégaud from France was among the first to make a move, trying to establish her presence. However, as Canada took charge to support Isabella Holmgren, their collaborative effort sparked further excitement in the peloton. Holmgren made her attempt to break away on the 3rd lap, but couldn't maintain the lead. This was one of many efforts, as several riders attempted to gain a leading position without substantial success. By the mid-race point, around 36 riders had managed to form a strong leading group, with Great Britain notably well represented. As the race progressed into the final laps, only about 20 riders remained contending for victory. Bégaud made another move, collaborating momentarily with riders including Blasi and Hutter, but their lead was short-lived. Meanwhile, Gery and Chladaňová began to initiate a series of well-timed attacks, further whittling down the competitive field. Stina Kagevy from Sweden, despite initially breaking away with a substantial lead of over 50 seconds, soon came back under threat as the relentless pace put forth by the others began to close the gap. With just 6 kilometers remaining, a key attack from Gery, Chladaňová, Holmgren, and Blasi succeeded in reeling Kagevy back in just before the final 3 kilometers. As they prepared for the ultimate climb, the stage was set for a thrilling conclusion. As they ascended the final climb, it became clear that the strategic dynamics favoring France would play a pivotal role. Gery's efforts culminated perfectly as she and Chladaňová raced towards the finish line, with Bunel's earlier exertions shaping the outcome in Gery's favor as she powered through the final sprint. This exhilarating race not only marks a historic victory for Gery, but also underscores the growing prominence of women in competitive cycling. What are your thoughts on this breakthrough for female athletes in cycling? Do you believe we will see even more advancements for women in the sport in the future? Let's discuss in the comments.